Konbanwa, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
That means good evening in my language.
All right.
Japanese.
Yes, we know.
Okay.
Otherwise, you would have said konnichiwa
Yeah.
or ohayo gozaimasu.
You're right. So in this world, in this timeline, on the current train we are all on, in our co-created...
Well, not all of you are on the same train, but...
Right. In our co-created agreed reality,
Yes.
what is the actual radiation situation in Japan that is not being reported by the government, especially for the island of Honshu, the main island? And are the UFOs sighted in Japan helping to reduce the amount of radiation?
To some degree they are, but specifically they are helping to induce insight into the situation so that the individuals involved can gain greater understanding of what to do and perhaps simply gain understanding and knowledge and answers on their own without necessarily having to rely on what you would call official channels. The idea is that as we take a measurement now in our relay system, the energy is about 10 to 15 to 20 times greater than is being reported. It is understood, however, that some of this information, from the perspective of the people holding on to this information, the withholding is being done from their perspective for a positive reason. Because if they were to release the real amounts, many people would give up hope. It would crush their spirit. This way, they are given manageable amounts. You understand?
I understand.
Now, nevertheless, the people can still receive inspiration for many higher levels of information and come up with whatever solutions are truly required to handle the actual levels of radiation.
Can the people still recover?
Not all, no. Some can, but many won't. As we said, many of them, in coming into this life, understood that they may take themselves out to serve a greater purpose. But again, being eternal beings, they know they can reinstate themselves in physical reality again. And in fact, you will find that some of the children not exposed will actually be instrumental in solving the problem, as you say, because some of the children are, again, to speak linearly, the reincarnations of many of those that died in the atomic destruction during your war. So they have already come in with the knowledge that such a thing could occur again and already actually have the insight and answers necessary. What needs to happen, and this is actually your greatest source of information, is that children between the ages of 3 and 5 need to actually be consulted about this. Because they actually know the answers, but their answers are passed off as fantasy. You need to pay attention. All right? That's the greatest clue we are allowed to give. Thank you.
So Tokyo is 10 to 20 times, or
Yes.
the reported level. Okay.
But it is concentrated in a smaller zone than you may think.
How many miles from Fukushima?
10
Okay.
radius.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did whaling and eating whales by the Japanese cause the recent earthquake in Japan from a karmic point of view?
We do not wish to address it in that kind of a context because that would be very misleading.
Okay. There is rumor... Oh, sorry.
The idea, nevertheless, is that if this experience brings to people's attention, as we said originally in the beginning of this transmission, the need for more clarity on the connection to all things in the world and seeing the connection and feeling the connection, then the earthquake serves that purpose in conjunction with many other purposes. But it is really an oversimplification and a misunderstanding to put it in those karmic kinds of terminologies. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
But it will bring about greater understanding of the connection to all forms of life, and thus then the new understanding of the kinship that they share with those beings that may have been formerly killed will and can be one of the results if those individuals are willing to explore the idea of the connection brought about by this experience. Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's a rumor in Japan right now, perhaps a collective fear, that there might be another major earthquake in the next 6 months. Could this be true?
The probability is at this point only between 13 and 25%.
Thank you.
There may be a smaller one that we read at about 70 to 80% probability, but it will not in that sense be what you would call of a devastating magnitude. That is how we read the probability now. Remember, there is no such thing as a prediction of the future. There is only a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made.
Right.
But as we read the collective consciousness of that culture and the world, this is what we read at the moment in your collective energy patterns. Now, as there are also other things going on around the world, you may find that there may be a higher degree of probability in other places, as you have recently come to understand from volcanic eruptions in your southern hemisphere, so on and so forth. So there are also other kinds of manifestations that are occurring, not just because of the way the collective society is arranging these things to be experienced, but some of these things are actually acting as release valves for other portions of the planet. You follow?
Yeah.
All right.
Do the use of marijuana, mushrooms, or DMT hold an individual back from being able to shift into higher planes or consciousness?
Depends on how they use the substances that naturally occur on Earth. They are there to be used as triggers, as guideposts, to give insights to how you can allow yourself to create that vibrational state on your own without the use of the trigger. So, using it a few times in that sense to gain some idea, some experience with what the vibration is, can be of service. Using it all the time because you think you need it all the time is completely missing the point.
Okay.
Because it's there to show you that you can simply create that vibration because you're creating it anyway. Remember what we said about permission slips?
Yes.
They're just permission slips. You're doing it anyway.
Okay.
So, the idea is that if you get the point, you can simply create those states of being, and then you don't need the symbol from that point forward. Now, DMT in that sense, as you say, dimethyltryptamine, is something a little bit different in that it is produced naturally already within your pineal gland. And it is in that sense that which causes the permission slip of chemical interactions that allows you to perceive into other dimensionalities, which is why in that sense you dream. But during the dream state are also communicating with other dimensions of experience, other beings, other consciousnesses. So the idea of the regulation of DMT in certain ways, which again doesn't necessarily mean you have to take it externally, but the idea of the amplification of it even within the production of your own body through the pineal gland, through certain exercises and meditations or imaginations and visualizations, can allow you greater utilization, greater amplification of DMT from the pineal gland so that you can have clearer insight and clearer communications with beings in other levels of reality as well. This is most often effective between what you call 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. of your time frame. Do you follow?
I follow.
And this is why many people report interactions with other beings from other realities, most often between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., because their gateways are open. Their perception is open. The veils are thinner in a sense. You follow?
I follow.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Are some clouds light ships?
Very, very few.
Very few.
Yes, very few. There are a few ships in that sense that can create the illusion of cloud, or some ships that may even sometimes use a real cloud in that sense for a variety of reasons, but it is not anywhere near as many people on your planet think.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
All right, thank you.
There's an individual by the name of Alex Collier who said that if ET races were to contact us, it would start from Japan. Alex Collier claims to have been in contact with the Andromedan race in the fifth dimensional plane.
Why would it start in Japan?
I have no idea.
All right, well, there you go.
Okay.
It is starting in a number of places. It has been going on for a long time. It started long ago,
Right.
before there even was a Japan.
Right.
You understand?
I understand.
It's an ongoing thing. Yes, it's had its cycles. Yes, it has, in a sense, had different degrees of contact over different periods of your history, as you call it. But so what? You will attract yourself to whatever you need to hear. When you need to hear it. Not a second before, but not a second later. If it works for you, use it. If it doesn't, you'll find what you need somewhere else. If it resonates with you, fine. If it doesn't, fine.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Is the moon a base, and what is really going on there?
No.
It's not a base.
No. Are you talking about the idea of something that belongs to your own planet?
Yes.
No.
Extraterrestrial?
Yes.
Can you tell me what's going on there?
No.
Okay. What
That
can
will
I
do.
Sorry.
That
Go
will
ahead.
do.
Oh, that will do. Okay.
That will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bashar, if I may, since the topic came up of whales and dolphins
Yes.
being killed by Japan
And others.
and others, because they're sentient species
Yes.
equivalent to the consciousness evolution of humans,
Yes.
what are some of the consequences of not recognizing the sanctity of their lives and a population insisting on going out and harpooning them and blowing
Let
them up?
me ask you this question. How does it assist your mobility to not cut your arms and legs off?
So what you're saying is that dolphins and whales
Are
act-
members of your family. And thus then, by divesting yourself in that way of members of your family, you are less capable of functioning holistically and having all the information at your disposal required to live holistically on your planet. Because they are a big piece of the puzzle. They have information you need. Understand, if you would really learn to communicate with them fully, there are so many things in the ocean they know about that would aid and assist some of the things going on the surface of your planet that you know nothing about, that they could tell you about, that many of the things you're going through would be completely unnecessary or easily solvable. They can bring you knowledge. They are part of your family. So those in the sense that choose to eliminate parts of their family are not working, well, euphemistically, with a full deck.
So is there a message that
I just gave it. If you want to work with a full deck, if you want to have access to all the information of your planet that would allow you to exist on your planet in a joyful way, include all the members of your family.
And for example, the humpback whales that emit songs, and they seem to be driving these songs down into the heart of the planet.
Yes.
Is that in some way helping to balance the earth?
You know it is.
Yeah, I guess I do. But I guess I'm just interested in conveying to
It's
those...
not the only thing it's doing.
What else is it doing?
It is, in that sense, also, again, information about the nature and structure of reality. Let me put it to you this way. If humans were to collect about 1 year's worth of whale song and translate it properly, at this moment they would find answers to about 57 questions that are plaguing your scientists.
So for those individuals in Japan that are supportive of the idea of the cessation of killing whales and dolphins,
Yes.
is there something that we can suggest for them to do within their population to help
Share the
change?
information I just gave you. They are part of a family. Without them, you are missing something. You are missing the information you need to live on your planet in total joy. This goes for other beings as well, not just dolphins and whales. They're all one part of a big family.
And it's a wonderful family.
It is.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar.
And to you, good day.
You talked earlier about how, different people's experience is as if it was a different television channel, and some people...
Not as if.
It is.
It is.
A different television channel or different television program.
A different reality altogether.
So let's say a person vibrating at channel 10 can see all the channels from 1 through 10.
Yes.
But a person at 9, for instance,
yes,
can't quite see 10.
Yes.
Now,
that's the nature of that TV program.
Now,
yes.
There are a couple of people in my life that are very important to me, and
all right.
They seem to sort of stick their toe in the water of
yes.
the channel that I'm on,
yes.
and then they go back, and
yes.
then they stick their toe in. Now, my question is,
yes.
I want them to be on my channel, at my level, on my program.
Why?
Because I love them, and I think they would have a better experience.
Wait a minute. Do you love them?
Yes.
Unconditionally?
Yes.
Be careful. Look in your dictionary. The word unconditional means without condition.
I understand.
Not except for this condition.
I understand. So my question is,
yes.
I believe I understand the concept of unconditional love. Thank you.
All right, then why do you need them to change?
I don't necessarily need them. What my question is there anything other than simply to be myself in my vibration as truly as I can be that I can do to help them stay longer at the channel that they can obviously see but aren't maybe quite ready to tune into?
No.
Thank you.
All you can do is be a living example of what's possible for them to choose. You can share ideas, but they must be allowed to choose what they believe is right for them, or you're actually not supporting them and thus not supporting your own choice. Make sense? Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Namaste, Bashar.
And to you, good day. Shivai.
Thank you. You spoke earlier about our being on a higher vibration. Can you? And I've heard you speak.
I didn't, but I did.
Yes, Bashar did. I would love to know, and I've listened and I hear you about being our true self and the joy.
Yes.
What else can we do to accelerate our enlightenment or our raising our vibrational frequency?
Perhaps I have not made myself clear. There is nothing else that needs to be done but be yourself by acting on your highest joy to the best of your ability, with integrity, without expectation, every single moment. That's all you need to do to accelerate as fast as it is possible for you in your chosen life path, in your chosen process, to accelerate. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. I know that you humans love to complicate things and make them seem like they have to be more difficult than that. But it isn't. That's all you have to do. And thus then, at whatever rate, if you do that, at whatever rate your life does unfold is the appropriate accelerated rate. Awesome. And when you trust that, you will see that it is so. You will experience that it is so. It's only when you don't trust your own process and your own rate and your own life that things paradoxically actually slow down. Because if you're not allowing what is to be what needs to be, if you're not using what's happening as if it's supposed to be there, as if it's not, then you're not using the stepping stones that get you to the next place. If you deny any aspect of your life, you are removing the stepping stone you need to get to the next one. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And
what about things like meditation, chanting?
What about them? They are all, from our perspective, what we refer to as permission slips. The idea simply being that all tools, all techniques, and all rituals are all fine. You decide what works for you. Don't use what doesn't work for you. Use what works for you. But all they actually are doing is acting as permission slips to align with your particular belief system. That's why you're attracted to it. To allow you to give yourself permission to be more of who you are by using that technique. So it's just a permission slip. You don't need it. But if you feel you do, then use it. But that's what it's doing. It's simply triggering within you the willingness to give yourself permission to be more of who you are. You understand?
Thank you, yes.
It's that simple. It's all that simple. Really. Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And one last piece from that place. Would you do me the honor, please? Can you look into my soul? Would you let me know from what you see on my vibrational frequency any messages, any gifts that I can share? Anything you see?
Are you an artist?
I wouldn't call myself that.
What would you call yourself?
I don't know. That's what I guess I'm looking for.
What kind of creative expression do you feel interested in?
I love speaking. I love dance. I love
Is
teaching.
dancing not an art?
Yeah, that's why I said in some ways everything's art.
Well, all right. So are you expressing yourself creatively in all the ways that you would like to as fully as you possibly could? Hesitation means no.
Right.
So the only message would be, what's holding you back from acting on the things that excite you as fully as you could be?
I guess
Do you have an answer?
the old adage, if I'm going to talk the talk, I want to walk the walk. That
So
being
walk
the,
it. What's stopping you? That's the question. What definition, what belief is preventing you from taking action where you can?
I guess feeling I'm not ready or not good
Not
enough
ready for what?
to step into a role of leadership.
Why not?
Call it what you may, credentials or
Credentials.
or what would cause people to want to listen to me? Like
If
I guess it's
you
not knowing my
have-
gift or not knowing what it is.
If you have something to share, there always must be someone to receive it. As we have said, there are no one-sided coins. If you have the head, there has to be a tail or there's no coin. So if you exist, and obviously you do, whatever it is you have to share, whatever it is you feel you need to give, there must by definition be someone who is waiting to receive it, or you wouldn't exist in your reality with that thing, that urge to share. So the sooner you get on about the business of moving forward in being who you are, the sooner you will simply see that the synchronicity of your life will determine the pace at which you need to grow and learn the things you need to learn by providing synchronous opportunities to learn those things in exactly the appropriate amount of time in which you need to learn them, so that by the time you need to do a certain thing, you will know what you need to know. The point again is, trust your life to unfold exactly as it needs to give you what you need when you need it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
But the only way you will get to that point is to take the first step. You're at least ready to take the first step, yes?
Absolutely.
Then take it. And then when you take the first one, take the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And you will simply see your life unfold as it needs to, presenting you with the appropriate opportunities, meeting all the right people, the right places, at the right timing, in order to learn what you need to learn, to do whatever it is you say is an expression of your joy. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
This is a
yes.
complete kit. It functions automatically. Excitement is the organizing principle and the driving engine of your life. Trust it. It works. It's a kit. Use it. But you have to take the step in order to initiate it. You have to act on your excitement to the best of your ability every moment that you can in order to activate it. And then you will see excitement is a thread. It leads to all other excitement, no matter how it looks on the surface. Whatever excites you, no matter how it looks, whether it seems connected to anything else or not that excited you, if it contains the excitement at the moment, that's the most exciting thing you can think of to do, that you have the greatest degree of ability to act on it, because the excitement tells you this is connected to that, even if it doesn't look like it is. Make sense?
Yes.
Follow the excitement, not the surface appearance. You humans even have the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. You cannot tell by how something looks on the outside, because it's an illusion, whether it's your truth. You can only tell by that vibration that's within it. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I was wondering if you could tell us from which density you speak.
We are moving from fourth density to fifth density as you are going from third to fourth. We're climbing up the ladder together.
Do we ascend at the same time, or?
We are linked to some degree.
Okay.
There is a triad between our world, your world, and certain levels of the star system of Sirius, and we are all going up together as a triad.
Is that why you're here, to help us?
Yes, even as you help us.
What would you have to say about the resonating fear, the increasing fear in society today. Would you say that as a message?
We would say you can use it in a number of ways. You can use it to drive yourself into a frequency that allows you to experience a feel for reality, or you can use it to allow yourself to shift into a frequency where it puts you in touch with knowing what you are by getting clear examples of what you are not. Sometimes you humans need to see what you're not more clearly in order to help you understand what you are. So the idea of bringing all the fear, bringing all the violence, bringing all the negative energy up is getting it all out on the table, getting it all out on the surface and saying, is this what we prefer? Yes, no. Thus then giving yourself a choice by seeing clearly what you don't prefer, what you do prefer, and making a choice accordingly. That's our suggestion for how to use the idea of fear. Fear is just a messenger knocking on your door saying, hey, you've got belief systems that are out of alignment with your true self. Bring them back into alignment, because fear is just your own energy. It's your own energy being passed, being filtered through belief systems that are out of alignment with your true self. So fear is a friend telling you you're out of alignment. That's why you're feeling your energy as fear instead of joy. So I'm telling you, you have these belief systems, find out what they are, bring them back into alignment, and you will transform the fear back into joy, because it's the same energy. You're only working with one energy. You only have one energy. You only are one energy. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it best for us if we see what's there's this disclosure project going on in this world to bring about awareness?
Yes.
Seems a lot of fear is being sent out about different aliens and what the government's doing, this and that.
Yes. And as we have said, you decide what you believe is true and vibrate in accordance to the reality of your preference.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what anyone's intention is toward you, as we have said. It only matters what you, in your vibratory state of being, prefer to experience, and that will be the effect it has in your life, regardless of anyone's intention toward you.
So would we be better off to just allow everyone to be and not try to influence?
You cannot influence. I am not saying that you cannot get together and act in ways that are beneficial. I am not saying that you cannot assist others. I am not saying you cannot share information and suggestions for how others might be able to change in positive ways. That is not what we are saying. I am not saying just allow people to get away with murder. That's not what we are saying. What we are saying, however, is that if you present the idea of an alternative that's positive, constructive, self-empowering, then whether or not someone else chooses to abide by it still will have no effect on your life other than what you agree it shall have.
Thank you.
Thank you.